Hey everyone, welcome to the Sales Strategies for Christian Coaches podcast. I'm Justin Janowski, I'm your host. I started Faith to Influence in December of 2018, and I was scared and worried about whether or not I could make it, whether or not I could provide for my family through my coaching business. I'd quit my job, start this business, and fortunately I had a few skill sets that I knew I could employ. I knew how to sell with integrity. I knew how to design an offer and price it. And I had a great mindset around sales and money. I didn't have any resistance to those things. I've been very blessed as God provided so much for my business. Over $250,000 in revenue in the first year, which was way beyond what I thought was possible. And I realized that other Christian coaches who were wanting to launch and grow their businesses felt scared and nervous like I did, but didn't have the skill sets to fall back on around sales, business design, pricing, and money and sales mindset. And so that's what I help people with now at Faith to Influence. And that's what this podcast is all about. It's helping you elevate your sales strategies, your mindset strategies, and to optimize your business model and price points. So today I want to talk to you about a concept that I received from my beautiful wife, Kara. Kara, if you don't know her yet, is a psychology teacher. She taught psychology at the Air Force Academy. Now she teaches psychology at Concordia University in Wisconsin. And she also does new student programs there and just creates a great experience for the college freshmen. She is a rock star. And one of the things that she taught me that she teaches her students in psychology is to consider how they perceive adversity. And adversity can be perceived as either a challenge or an opportunity, all in kind of one. It can be a challenge or opportunity, or it can be a threat or a danger. And so if we perceive the adversity that we're facing in business or in sales as a threat, as danger, then we're going to have a very fight or flight response to it. If you think about like objections at the end of a sales call, so many new salespeople, so many new coaches, so many entrepreneurs perceive an objection in a sales call as a threat. And therefore they kind of panic in this fight or flight response. And it's not calm, it's not confident, and it doesn't create an environment that makes it easy for the other person to work through the challenge and say yes if it's a fit. So that's a reminder, is to consider, like, if you are looking at prospecting, are you perceiving prospecting as a challenge and an opportunity? Or are you perceiving prospecting, in other words, sending messages to line up sales calls, as a threat? I know so many salespeople perceive prospecting as a threat. They start to think of it like, oh man, what if I get rejected? Threat. What if I send a message and somebody thinks less of me because of it? What if they judge me because I try to invite them to a sales call, or judge me because I'm calling myself a coach, or whatever it is that you think they're going to judge you on? So many people get stuck and they prevent themselves from prospecting, lining up meetings, and giving them an opportunity to grow their business and serve people because they perceive the prospecting effort as a threat. The other problem is perceiving the sales call as a whole as a threat, an opportunity to feel embarrassed, an opportunity to feel bad, an opportunity to hurt a relationship. Or the objection on a sales call as this bad thing, as a rejection, as a no, as a painful judgment, as something that's going to threaten our livelihood. And therefore, if we consider it a threat, we're going to avoid it. We're going to avoid it at all costs. We're going to survive instead. Now, the other side of it, instead of considering prospecting or holding a sales call or receiving an objection on a sales call, instead of perceiving that as a threat, what if you perceived each of these things as an opportunity, as a challenge that you wanted to take on? The opportunity here is to say, when I send a prospecting message, that is my opportunity to create real events in my calendar that can lead to income and impact. When I was selling Cutco knives when I was 18 years old, they used to say, your phone, by the way, we used to call people. We didn't even have text messaging as like a primary form of communication quite yet. It was coming on, but it wasn't like all in like it is today. So when we were prospecting, we were making phone calls. I was calling people to book a sales call, and they used to say, smile when you dial. They also used to tell me that my phone was like an ATM machine. And every time I dialed how many digits are in a phone number now? 4, 7, 10, excuse me. You'd think I'd know that. How many years have I been making phone calls? But every time I dialed those next 10 digits and called that next person, it was like tapping the digits on an ATM machine. And that's what was going to pay my salary. That was what was going to help me earn income and grow my business, was going back to the time machine or the ATM machine again and again and again. By the way, if you've never heard an ATM machine called a time machine, I could tell you a side story about a time that I called the ATM machine a time machine, TYME, which is what a bank in Wisconsin called them when I was a kid. So I grew up calling it a time machine. Anyways, if you know me, you'll have to ask for the personal story of why I call an ATM machine a time machine and when I called it that in the wrong setting and had kind of a funny and embarrassing moment to a certain degree. Anyways, the ATM machine, like tapping the digits on the phone, prospecting, that was the ATM machine. That's the opportunity. It's like, this is how I earn my income. I was talking to one of the sales reps on our team the other day, and I said, the only thing that earns you income in our job, in our opportunity, in your job for Faith to Influence is prospecting. That is literally the only thing you have to do. That is your job, is to prospect. Because if we prospect, we don't have to worry about anything else. We just need to worry about the messages we're sending and how many people we're inviting to get on a real call, to have a real conversation, to find out if it's a fit for us to support them and help them. That's the one thing that equals income and impact for most coaches, is actually having those real conversations. But the only part we can control is sending the initial message and inviting them to the call. I told her, you don't need to worry about how many people book the call. You don't need to worry about how many people buy. You just need to worry about consistently and repeatedly inviting enough people to the calls. And then everything else will happen naturally. Everything else will take care of itself. Everything else is just going to play itself out as a numbers game. Anyways, I digress. I'm getting a little bit off topic here on the tangent, I think. But my point is, prospecting is not a threat. Prospecting is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to deepen relationship. It's an opportunity to open a door. It's an opportunity to earn income. It's an opportunity to create sales. It's an opportunity to create impact. It's an opportunity to find our clients. So we need to reframe this adversity of prospecting from threat or danger to opportunity. In fact, the greatest opportunity. And the same thing's true with a sales call. It's not a threat. It's an opportunity for both sides. If you are a great coach, a great entrepreneur, a great leader, you've got a service that you can provide to people and it's going to help them. Imagine the opportunity that sales call can be for the other person. That sales call with you, whether they buy or not, can be worth hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars to them if you can provide them with a great insight or two. If they do hire you to be their coach, it's worth so much more because it's going to impact their life or their business or their marriage or their health, whatever it is that you work with people on. There's an opportunity in the sales call, and the opportunity is way bigger than the threat. And on the final piece of this, when we're talking about objections, same thing. It's not a threat. The objection is an opportunity for us to build a deeper relationship. The objection is an opportunity for us to display our calm, confident, curious nature and build more trust with our prospect. I believe a well-handled objection, a thoughtfully handled objection, where we're having meaningful conversation and helping people make a good decision for themselves, can deepen the relationship. And it can be an expression of coaching. It can be a first step towards the work that we're going to continue to do together with our clients. And so this is the invitation for you. Start to identify where in your business have you been categorizing adversity as a threat. Do it right now. Click pause, write a list. What have I been considering a threat in my business? Again, it might be sales calls, it might be prospecting, it might be objection handling, and maybe it's something else. What have I been considering or categorizing even unconsciously as a threat in my business? And the second question is, how can I tell myself a new story about how that is an opportunity rather than a threat? Because you're living in this old unconscious story that probably isn't even true. Let's tell the true story about the opportunity we have in front of us. Let's recategorize this. Let's take the challenge head on as an opportunity to serve, love, grow, improve our skill sets, and honor the clients and the gifts that God has given us. You can do this. Let's do it together. God bless you. I love you all. I'll see you more soon. If you're interested in more support from us, go to www.goodsalespodF.com to get our 10-step sales process. You can also email me. If this message resonates with you, you want to email me and let me know what you're working on, what you're working through. Give me an opportunity to pray for you. I'd love to hear from you. You can email me at justin@faith2influence.com. That's faith, the number 2, influence.com. God bless you all. Talk to you more soon.